Alright, welcome back everybody, and as I predicted in my video, probably like 3 hours after I finished recording, they released the teaser image that it was indeed going to be Acrid releasing, which is why our poor main menu guy got himself poisoned to death there. And I've played a little bit with him, I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 runs, not even, but oh boy, he is a lot of fun. So yeah, actually 2 runs. Longest run was only 35 minutes, so I'll probably beat that while recording this video. But Acrid is a lot of fun. It's very strange kit, but I'm enjoying it. Also, there have been a lot of changes for the levels as well as the other heroes. So let's just go ahead and jump on into it. So we got poison damage over time. Poison can't kill enemies. That's the only real thing that makes Acrid a little strange. So you really benefit from attack over or damage over time and things of that nature. And there is the epidemic. It can spread up to 20 targets, which is awesome. I really enjoy it. But yeah, welcome back. Been an okay week. There was a lot of social interaction going on this week, because we had our Christmas party at work and stuff like that. So I am just I was very drained. I slept as usual for like 13-14 hours. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, since we had the holiday party, there was a lot of interaction there, and then my girlfriend was feeling a little down this week, so I was taking care of her a lot, and ran out of batteries very quickly, and we also had a lot of stuff that we wanted to do. Like this update popped out, so I wanted to play a game of this. I got a new game called Ashen, which I will definitely be making videos of in the future. I absolutely love that game. I've been wanting it for a while. It's been out for a while, but it was initially released as a timed exclusive for Epic, which I refused to support. But yeah, it's finally out on Steam, and I love it. It's fantastic. There's a little bit more I want to talk about on that, but back towards what happened for the rest of the week. Is that a lot of social interaction and draining, and because we had so much that we wanted to do in our free time, I just I wanted to take a nap because I was very tired throughout the week, and I just kept putting it off and just never took that nap, so I never really had that mental break, and I punished myself basically. I really should have taken a nap at some time earlier. I should make that part of my daily routine, and I don't. Because it does feel like I'm wasting a lot of the evening, because I still habitually want to go to bed at a specific time. Which I realize, like, if you take a nap, you don't necessarily need to, because you've got a little bit of sleep, so you can afford to stay up a little bit later. But I don't know, that's just a routine that I've been in for a while, so there's some efficiency that needs to be worked out there. That's for damn sure. What do we got? Fusion, more health. Why not? Okay, yeah, so back on the subject of Ashen. One of the things that I made mention of in the past, as well as I think the previous video, is I really wanted to get into like an MMO or something like that again, because there's just so much to MMOs like that, and there's a lot to iterate on and a lot of things to try. But at the same time, what really frustrates me is that I will constantly replay the early game, trying out different characters, and end up never actually making progress. So the reason why I love Ashen so much is there is no real character building. Like, you can design your character's appearance, your physical appearance, but as far as stats and stuff like that goes, it's all equipment based, and you can swap out your equipment and store it, and there's only a certain amount of equipments that you can find in the game, and it's all based on exploration. And everything boils down to basically your stamina and your attack patterns, which means that as far as iterating goes, because it's a Souls-like kind of game where you have enemies that respawn every time you rest at your bonfire-esque place, you can iterate without having to restart the game. And since it's all based on equipment, I can just change out the equipment without having to build a new character, because I'm not missing out on any stats. The stats that I gain are permanent, and they're scattered throughout the world and based purely on your progression in the story, which I love. And I feel like it's a game that I may be able to master early. Well, I say early, in a reasonable amount of time at any rate. But it's one that really, it caters to my level of playstyle, which I am very thankful to have found. And I love the art style of it. It's just fascinating. It has kind of that like low poly, like low texture look. You'll see when I make a video, or if you know about it, then you know what I'm talking about. It's beautiful, and the setting and the story is all really fascinating. It's very unique. I hate this used item. Sorry. Yeah, that's essentially what's been going on. So even though I haven't found an MMO that I do want to play, a lot of them are super generic, as you know. I am still in the market for that, but it's something. Oh, that poor guy just jumped to his death. Oh well. But yeah, Acrid is adorable. Look at this guy. Look at this puppy. He's got 4 eyes, he's got a big old mouth, and he spits poison. How fantastic is that? There's a very slow recharge on my right mouse attack, my ranged poison shot, but getting magazines does give me additional charges, which is really nice. So, one of the things I haven't yet done is I haven't had the opportunity to stack attack speed on Acrid, so I'm hoping that I'll come across a printer so that I can do that. Like I said, as you saw, I've only played Acrid twice. There is also some newer in-game, like end-game content. There's also a new boss called the Scavenger, which is a returning boss from the previous games. I think that was like a fireworks printer or a hoof printer. It's so hard to ping these things. Goat hoof. I don't know. I kind of like the items I have because the fire in particular is good because if an enemy is poisoned, the fire can kill them on proc. So I think this is a decent build. Ooh, I've got a blue portal as well, so I can go to the merchant. So yeah, let's get this going. There is also a new level added into the game that can only be, actually 2 technically new levels. One you need to go to in order to get Acrid. The other one is only accessible by purchasing or acquiring a lunar item, which I may be able to get in the shop if I really want to end the run that way. We'll see. There's also some new boss items as well as boss item printers, which are nice. So if you get a bunch of boss items that you don't particularly care for, like I don't really like the Queen's Gland, the one that spawns Beetle Guardian, but you could potentially trade those out for Titan Neurals so you get more health and health regen and armor. Or the new one that they added was a tentacle from the jellyfish, where you basically get the electric nova that the jellyfish does at low health, which is fantastic. You have to be below 25% health in order to trigger it, which is pretty easy if you happen to have a blood shrine around, or if you're playing something like Rex, who can use up his health as he fires attacks. And it's pretty easy to get down to that threshold, and it does like 6,000% damage. It's monstrously powerful. As far as autism things go, though, like not a whole lot has been on my mind this week. I'm kind of shopping around at the moment for an occupational therapist. That's one big thing that my psychologist has been encouraging me to do. And I was trying to wrap my head around exactly what occupational therapy is about, like what they do, because the ones I have been finding mostly deal with children, so it's kind of hard to find an occupational therapist that specializes in adults with autism, or at least in my city it is. But what I'm hoping to do, yeah, so that's the new lunar item that'll get you to the new final. I'm not going to take these because I have a used item that will instantly lose me all my money. This is also a new item which gives you more money randomly, which is kind of nice. This sucks because I do want those gestures, but I have the worst active item right now. Oh well. Hi, buddy. You waving at me? Have some poison. Yeah, spoiler alert, if you want Acrid, if you've ever wasted a bunch of time in here, it's worth exploring down there. Back on the subject of occupational therapy though, from what my psychologist has been telling me and what I've been able to figure out, what they primarily do is they help you identify areas that you're having difficulty with, like if you're really anxious in social situations or like going to the store, because there's a lot of things that can happen, like random situations or conversations that can pop up. Ooh, this is also a really nice thing. If you have a lunar item that you don't want, you can put in a lunar item and it'll give you a pearl, which increases your maximum health. But yeah, so occupational therapists help you identify issues or areas where you struggle or are afraid or get anxious about, and then they help you develop coping mechanisms in order to better handle the situation. Like if, as I was saying, if you are panicking a lot when you're at a grocery store because people might try to interact with you socially, they can suggest that you have a script of general conversation that you can default to in order to survive those encounters without having to worry too much. And one of the things that I've learned a lot when it comes to like even art and things like that is the more that you practice something, the more that you just get mileage out of it, the easier it becomes. So having that script is actually a very, very good coping mechanism. Even if it does feel robotic and you end up having the same interaction with a lot of people, it can over time help you develop into being able to have a conversation and an average interaction with someone and not be anxious about it, which definitely can help in your social situation. And to a degree, like I do a reasonable amount of that on my own already. Like I really enjoy, like, well, I wouldn't say I enjoy, but I do take great strides to identify where I struggle and think of ways to work around it or ways to adjust so that maybe I don't have to do that. Maybe there's something else I could be doing. So in a way, I kind of am my own occupational therapist, but I do still want that external perspective. Someone who's trained and from an outside level can see what's going on and help me identify and maybe suggest things that just would never occur to me. I do not know why my frame rate just tanked when that fire elite hit me. I'm gonna take a moment to pause the recording, make sure nothing's going on. 1 second. Okay, seems to have stabilized. I have no idea what the hell that was about. I just double checked to make sure that it was recording in the right place and shut down a couple programs I forgot to, but it's all good. Should also be recording my voice, which is always a plus. I don't always check that, and that really should be first priority. That's a nice script for the pandemic spread. Like I said, I love poison damage over time, and then once one of these pops, all that fire triggers, and everybody dies. It's a wonderful build. And then also being able to pop fireworks, that would be a great way to end the lives of so many enemies. Oop, get out of that. I forgot how much I like the music in this game. I'm glad I turned it back up. Let's see what we've got here. Movement speed would be nice. Yes, please. I can get around a little faster. Because Acrid is definitely one of the slower characters, I think on the same level as Multi and Rex. And his normal jump is not great, but given that his shift is also basically a jump, that is nice for movement, because the recharge time is pretty short. It's also really good if you don't have like a head stomper or something like that and you're falling a really high height. Also, this is adorable when you get the meat. He has the meat in his mouth. How precious is that? But yeah, when you're falling from a high height, if you trigger your shift, so you did the ground pound poison, it negates any fall damage. It doesn't do any more damage when you land, That's still the same, but it's a good way to save you a little bit of extra health. There we go. Actually, I don't recall seeing the teleporter yet. Then again, I probably did, and I just didn't call it out, because, you know, if I don't acknowledge it, it's not really there. Definitely gonna do the Trial of the Mountain. I have not really struggled at all playing Rex, so I am not afraid to take that on. Of course, I say that, and then it'll be like a Malachite or something along those lines. Ooh, Bleed would also be a good one, because there's the potential that they will get the bleed effect when they get poisoned, which can kill them. So he didn't get the bleed effect. But yeah, pretty much any damage over time on top of the poison is a godsend when it comes to Rex, because it guarantees that with a poison or a pandemic, you can wipe out an entire crowd in no time at all. So in that regard, a 57 leaf clover would basically just be the absolute overkill for this character. Alright, looking for those particles. Where's the particles? I spawned over there, so it's probably over this way somewhere. Teleporter. Where are you? Are you back here? I bet it's back here. It's the only place I haven't looked. Maybe not. I don't see any particles. No. Fuck. Hey. Be poisoned. Unless it's up somewhere? Am I just blind? I may be blind. Oh, oh, there it is. Cool. Another thing that they changed is if you buy these gunner drones, or gunner turrets, they do also teleport with you to the next level. It's not super effective. Like late game, most of your drones and turrets are gonna die very quickly. So, something to keep in mind, I guess. Activate this golden gun because why not? There we go. And you may be in a place where I can get up on top of your head. Let's find out. Nope, can't get up though. But I can poison you, so. There's a lot going on. And activate the golden gun. The golden gun actually is, like, damage-wise, it is a fantastic active item. It's just the fact that it's dependent on your money, and money is not nearly as reliable as it was in the first game. It means that it's just not as great. Well, I say golden gun, it's the crowd fucker. The actual golden gun item in Risk of Rain 1 was fantastic, because it was just a flat-out damage increase once you acquired a certain amount of money, which I think as you spent money, it would lose it and you would have to continue to build up more money. But even so, like, it was so much better, and I would love for something like that to be added back into the game, because late game, you're really looking for anything that can just dramatically increase your damage at that point. And money is all over the place. What is this? Use item. Yeah, I may grab that after this finishes charging. It's almost done. Let's see what we got. Nah, vase isn't much better. I can see it having an appeal, but I have never once found a situation where I would want the vase. Oh yeah, and my aquascaping project that I'm going to be doing for a beta. I ordered a tank which should be arriving today, as well as a lighting system, and hopefully this evening I'll be able to go and buy some hardscape and some soil so I can get that going. I'm really looking forward to that, because it's the first time that I'll have created a planted aquarium correctly firsthand, as opposed to already having the tank inhabitant and trying to hardscape and plant after they're in there, which is not recommended. Really, it's been a year and a half, 2-year struggle trying to stabilize Toothless's tank, because I had him long before I converted it into a planted aquarium, and I didn't at all cycle it or let it establish before putting it back in. I just started planting while he was in there and hoped for the best, which I would not recommend. I don't think anyone would recommend, in fact. It's just not smart. But I was excited, and we all know how excitement and autism goes. There's very little patience in my blood. Ooh, this is a new one I haven't seen. Gain massive armor for 5 seconds. Also, it's just a cute little elephant. I don't know where it shows up on my character. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. So for 5 seconds, I am basically taking no damage. Okay. I like that. That could be pretty goddamn useful. It has a reasonable cooldown. I imagine that could get pretty overpowered with Gesture of the Drowned and fuel cells. So maybe I'll get to doing that. I am still looking for my syringes though. I am nothing if not a drug addict in this game when it comes to attack speed. I also really like that the items for Rex just get randomly piled on top of them. Like if you get the teddy bear just is impaled on one of his back spikes. It's really cute. Crowbar's good. Let's see, I've got the bomb. Oops, that was complete flub. Ooh, crit printer. Hey, you know what? Let's just dump some into that for sure. I think I'll go up to 5 of these. That'll be a respectable amount of crit. Also, he just gets a pair of sunglasses for each set of eyes, which is funny. I said I would go up to 5. I went up to 6. Whoops. Oh well. It's just a straight damage upgrade because, you know, crits double your damage. Who doesn't love that? Alright, I'm gonna do one quick pass up top and then jump down and come back to that portal. I'm already 20 minutes in. Maybe I won't. I'm still moving too slow to really want to do that. So let's just get this over with. And then before I leave, I think there was a big chest over here or something. Eh. What do we got? Dune Strider. Alright, let's pop this Jade Elephant, make sure that I'm taking very little damage. And get rid of everything around him. That is one thing that's really nice about the poison, is anything that he pulls in, like I'm taking away their health before he can get it, and he's also killing them pretty much immediately because of the amount of damage he's inflicting to them as he takes their health. So, it's a big ol' fuck you to the Dune Strider. Oh yeah. At Red Whip run speed. Hey. It's not much, but when you're as slow as the 3 slowest characters are, every little bit counts. What is this? Another gunner gun. Another thing that they modified is with the Red Whip. Originally, if you took any damage, the Red Whip would deactivate. Now it's just when you attack or stop moving, it deactivates. Actually, I don't even think it deactivates when you stop moving. I think it's only when you attack. So that's nice. And away we go. Okay. So yeah, there's my gunner turret. Boop. I also like that you can hear the tinkle of the chains, which may not make sense for some people, but if you played the first game, and I think I mentioned this in the previous video when I was explaining Acrid, Acrid was originally captured to be experimented on or shipped to a zoo, I'm not sure which, and broken out of confinement when the ship, USS Contact Light, I think was the name of the ship, when it crashed on this planet. So I like that they kind of brought back. Oh, I think I see the jade elephant on my leg. I like that they brought back the chains, and that this seems to be just a direct continuation of Acrid from the first game, given that instead of a drop pod, you just kind of wake up from sleeping on the ground. Which, at least in my headcanon, means that you are the same Acrid from the first game. You are a true returning character. Pandemic doing its job. Ooh, there's another Trial of the Mountain on this run. So let's go pop that. I am still keeping an eye out for printers. Whoop. Yeah, the mechanics for the jump attack are a little strange, but the poison field that it creates is very nice. There we go, that's for that. Ooh, it's red? Aegis. Right now, at least I haven't seen hotfix. The Happiest Mask is once again broken. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Happy Mask, it's an item that creates ghosts from enemies that you kill. And for some reason, like every other update, the Happiest Mask breaks, and the ghosts that it can create just decide to become aggro against the player instead of helping you. I'm guessing it has something to do with them dying to something that is not being attributed to the player, like damage over time or something along those lines. But yeah, it's definitely something to avoid until it's eventually patched again. Especially since they buffed the ghosts in this recent update as well. So originally I think they were doing like 600 or 500% damage when they were summoned, and now they do I think 1500. So it's a ridiculously significant increase in damage, and that means they can kill you even faster, naturally. Also, double Trial of the Mountain. This should be entertaining. It could also be the end of the run, who knows? Well, I didn't see any printers that I wanted, so I'm not going to save up for the big chest. It's never worth it. I already got a red on this run anyway. So let's just get this over with. Go. Got my elephant to save me. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, this could be fun. Whee! And like I said, use this to negate fall damage. Well, maybe trigger it a little later when you're about to hit the ground to negate fall damage. Trigger it this time. There we go. Oh yeah. Alright, so those guys are all dead. Now it's just you. Well, okay, so they're not all dead just yet, but they are very close to being dead. So, there we go. Now they're all dead. What'd I get? I got 3 feathers. So I can jump a ridiculous amount. That'll help out a lot when I get vagrants and shit like that as the bosses. There we go. Let's just get some pandemic going, let everybody slowly die away. And pop you. Nice. In a way, Acrid kind of reminds me of these Lemurians. Like, he has a very similar build to them, and instead of fire, he spits poison, so it makes me think that he is a subspecies, but the fact that he was on the USS Contact Light, to me, suggests that he came from another planet. So it may be a species that's common to the galaxy, or something along those lines in the universe, who knows. As usual, this is just me massively overthinking a video game. And if you listen carefully, you may hear my darling bunny Lop tearing away at his cardboard house. Oh, Malachite. So it's not even, like, I'm not dependent on health regeneration for my strength on this build, but Malachites themselves are just super frickin' tanky, which makes them really, really annoying enemies. And those spikes that they lay down do a tremendous amount of damage. Like, look at that. Like, I'm pretty sure even if I had popped my elephant, it wouldn't have made much difference. Alright, well, I'm just gonna drop the pandemic. Oh, yep, okay, so he's definitely down. Good. 'Cause fuck that nonsense. Alright, healing drone, do your job. Screw that thing. These things die on a timer, so you don't really need to attack them. We got up here a key. Yes, focus crystal. As always, just a straight up damage increase for a melee character. It's beautiful. So let's get this shrine going for some more money. Jellyfish, and that was another malachite somewhere. There you are. Yeah, completely missed on that pandemic shot. And completely missed on that jump too. There we go. Let that work its magic. And pop an enemy. And yeah, not bad at all. Oops, someone dropped a lunar drawing. That's another thing as well. With the secret final level that you can get with the prayer beads that I bought, you do get significantly more lunar. The final boss in there, when you kill him, he drops 10 lunar. In addition to the lunar that you get, I think it's like 5 or 6 lunar, I can't remember, I think it's 5, for obliterating yourself. Still no attack speed for her. So disappointing. I really want to do that on this character, just because it would be funny to see these claws go at Mach 10. Beat a queen is nothing. Yeah, the tracking on that jump is just really strange. But, oh well. Alright, so we got ourselves another crit scythe. Fantastic. The scythe does add a very small amount of crit. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I have so many of these stupid feathers, so I can just jump like crazy if I want to. Ooh, you know what? That's so cool. Of enemies, let the pandemic go. A lot of them died out. Oh, you're still alive. See? The tracking on this. It leaves something to be desired, that's for damn sure. And away we go. Not that sprinter for something. Personal shield, eh. Not too shabby. Nothing super good. I guess I'll get a turtle. Why not? Printers. Alright. Not a whole lot going on this level, it seems. Come on, red whip. There we go. The length on that for my movement speed at the moment, which is a little disappointing. I could use some goat hooves. I hate you guys. What are you? Gasoline? Not terrible. Still not gonna bother though. I may purchase the shop. Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything good here, so. See if we can compensate. Now that I've got a better use item, it wouldn't hurt to buy some gestures if there are any on offer. Okay. I don't know how I ended up on top of you without using my jump boost, but I'm okay with it. You may be getting a lot of health, but you are losing so much over time, it really doesn't matter, buddy. In fact, you may go down. Yep. Not quite while he was defending, but pretty damn close. Let's pop down a pandemic just for shiggles. The sound effect is so strange. Alright, blue portal time. Any gestures this time? Of course there wouldn't be. What are you? I think this is also a new item. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. Replace your primary skill with Hungering Gaze. Okay. Well, alright. I guess that's a thing that I have now. Pew, 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 pew. So what I've heard is, as they update things, they're eventually going to be adding a character called a Heretic or something along those lines, given that they have this and they have the other lunar item that replaces your skills, which would kind of be interesting. So we have one that replaces your shift, we have one that replaces your mouse 1. So all we really need is something that replaces your R and your mouse 2. That's 2 updates. I guess I really don't need attack speed now. Unless, like, ooh, that's not even... Oh, okay. I was like, that doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But then they explode. And they also have a little bit of a homing mechanism, it seems. That's interesting. Oh yeah. So you can actually... I wonder, yeah. The only thing with builds like this that I'm always concerned about is there doesn't seem to be a way to increase the rate at which they regenerate, which I really would love. But I get that because there is supposed to be a bit of a trade-off with like the Artificer is the other character that has an attack like this. Oh, okay, so this actually is better. I just noticed that if you use it up, whenever it recharges all of the charges. 2, 1, and then 12 charges again. So that's better than I thought. The Artificer suffers because she does have very strong attacks, but she has to wait for each individual one to build back up. Also, where is that motherfucker? So that hiding back there is a new enemy and drops these fucking mortars attacks, which are insane. There you are. The Void Reaver, that's what you're called. And also they explode on death, which is terrifying. That's not exactly what I wanted. So the adaptive chest is one that just like cycles through random items until you activate it or it runs out of time and it gives you the item in question. So you have the opportunity to get a good item, but I squandered it because I accidentally chose an active item, which I don't want. So these seem to have a homing, but not a super strong one. Like they seem to be piercing through these guys. Oh well. What do we got here? A stealth kit. Let's stop playing around on the beach. Let's actually try to get through. I'm thinking I may just go ahead and obliterate and do that final secret boss. Because I have been going on for like 40 minutes at this point, and I really don't have much to talk about, so it's just me playing the game. I also do kind of like the way the feathers and the ages look on me. My eyes are really fucking weird right now because of that that replacement. Not gonna lie, it's a little spooky. I look a bit goofy. I'm hoping it looks better on other characters, because it really looks strange on Acrid. I don't know, I'm gonna have to play around with that item. I feel like it would be useful on some of the characters. Potentially on Rex. Possibly on the Artificer, given that it's basically just a better version of her firebolts. Oh, what luck is that? Really? Really, guys? Really? You're gonna give me a Glacial Greater Wisp at the same time that a Malachite spawns? This is just fucked. Let's just keep the pandemic going, try to keep our distance and stomp when we can. Woo! No! Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. That was hurting, that was hurting. That Malachite really had it in for me. That was close. Right, there's the Malachite. Why did I land on the spikes? Yeah, this is a terrible combination because if the glacial hits me, I'm slowed, and then the Malachite hits me and I can't heal and I can't get away. It's brutal. The glacial is almost dead though, so maybe I should just focus on it. Alright, looks like the pandemic is spread over there. That's good. Alright, both glacial and the Malachite are dead. So I can just peace out. I keep forgetting to use my Q. And none of the time that I was doing that was the teleporter charge. Because they scared me out. That sucks. Pew, 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 pew. Ooh, you know what I may play at some point on this channel? Earth Defense Force. That is a really fun game. It's a run and gun, kind of like Serious Sam game. It's a lot of fun. Alright, let's go ahead and get this Obliterate going. I'm definitely done with this run. I feel like this new lunar item is just not good on Rex, or not good on Acrid, but it could be good on other characters. Just fine. Ooh, it may be good on the engineer, because as much as I like his grenades, their charge time in order to be useful is a little bit limiting, and it also sucks when you're trying to hit enemies at range. That are flying. Ooh, not what I intended. Bye. Let me just, yeah. Peace. Well, that was silly. I did not think that I would be jumping that far with that. Good to know. Red whip can be dangerous. There was at one point, I did a run where I had used the Shrine of Order, which gives you a bunch of random items. Okay, I wasn't gonna make the initial jump, and I had to risk it. But I ended up getting, I think it was like 14 or 15 stacks of red whips, and when that activated, it was almost impossible to control my character. I literally could fly. And trying to get myself down to obliterate was almost impossible. Like I had to like sprint and jump and then circle around like a freaking fighter jet until I landed face first into this. It was insane. Alright. Obliterate in quotation marks. And now we're in the Hidden Realm of Moment Hole, which has a lot of bright light and these random obelisks. And we have our little friend over here, which there is a cheese strategy where right now, currently, he doesn't really aggro for ranged attacks. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fight him like a man. So is Garaga the Lucky, and it seems to be random because that was not the name that I had last time. But yeah, the scavengers randomly give themselves items. They also have their own use items, and a couple of really dangerous attacks. So, oof. And I'm dead. Maybe I should have done the cheese strategy. yeah, scavengers are very, very difficult, or very easy. It really, really varies. But yeah, that's been Risk of Rain. Hope you guys enjoyed playing around with me and my slimy water puppy poison boy. I really enjoy Acrid. I've always loved him since the first game, and I'm really loving how much attention to detail and updates they've been adding to this game. There's tons of content, and I'm really looking forward to playing lots more of it in the future. It's still technically in early access. It hasn't officially released. And when it does, it is going to be a wonderfully polished game. I can't believe it took the entire video for me to yawn, given how much I slept. That's got to be a new record. Alright guys, love you. As always, if you need help, reach out to me, reach out to somebody, and see you around. Bye!